Welcome everybody to the January meeting of the Historic Highway 99 Association of California. We have a few announcements before we get started with our presentation. One of our projects we're working on is to get the Pine and the Palm sign, and we do have a sign design ready to go. We have a couple of not bids, but cost estimates from sign companies, and so we're just about ready to go, but now looking for additional support from local agencies, historical society, and what have you. And then we're going to be pushing it through Caltrans and getting the signs up. We're also going to be working with Caltrans District 2, Caltrans District 2, to get additional historic route signs posted on basically State Routes 3 and 263 from Wairika up to Hornbrook. So the Shasta River Canyon will actually get some signage, which will be fun. It felt lacking when we were there in November. So also, you may or may not have noticed, we do have a format. The meetings are now bi-monthly. So our next meeting will be in March. I haven't determined the date yet, but we're looking at the second Tuesday of the month. And yeah, so not much to announce this go around, but without further ado, so our meeting or presentation this evening is going to be from Mike Herman with the Historic Ukiah-Tahoe Highway Association in regards to US Highway 99W. And I'll go ahead and take it away.
So do I just need to share the screen? Is that all we need to do?
Yes.
It says you disabled it.
Yeah. Try that and move spotlight.
Yeah, there we go.
Should be able to.
Okay, are you seeing me?
Yes.
Okay, then we should be okay. So good evening. My name is Mike Herman. I'd like to thank Michael Ballard for asking me to come back again to do this presentation. We got through a portion of it before, but we'll start at the beginning of the Highway 99 travel guide portion tonight, which I wrote in 2019. Most of the story will be taken care of through maps and photographs, but we'll get a little bit of stuff out of the way first. So my background, after 44 years of working in the engineering business, I retired in 2015, and my wife and I had taken many road trips and vacations over the years, and we just didn't have enough time to do everything we wanted to do during the 2-3 week vacation type thing. Now we have a lot more time to travel. Also, after retiring, my wife and I moved to a house that we already owned in Lake County, California, which is about a half a mile off the Ukiah-Tahoe Highway, which is one of the reasons that I got started doing that. So some of the trips that we've taken over the last 40 years have been the Alaska Highway before it was paved, Route 66, Lincoln Highway, Yellowstone Trail, the River Road, which is both sides of the Mississippi River, the Columbia River Highway, the Redwood Highway, of course, in Northern California, the Ukiah-Tahoe Highway, much of US 99, and many other unnamed and unmarked roads throughout the country. So why did I start writing travel guides? Well, the first one I wrote was for the Ukiah-Tahoe Highway Association, which I had started. And the purpose of that one was to try to get more people and tourism money into Lake County and the other counties that the highway went through. I wrote the travel guide primarily to find out for myself what there was along the way and what each county had to offer. One of the things I kind of learned doing that first travel guide was I knew what I liked and what I didn't like about ones that I'd used over the years. And so I tried to take the things that I liked and put them into mine, which was clear directions, good maps in the towns, which is where most of the turns and the confusing parts happen. And something that opened flat, so you had room to write notes right alongside the map. And my wife also likes to kind of keep a journal to where we're staying and that stuff. And that stuff can get written down right beside the maps, which just makes things easier when you want to go back and look at it later. So travel guides of these little known highways are primarily to bring publicity to an area that people don't know has something to offer. It takes a lot of research to find out what's going on in these little small towns and counties along the way. And the other thing is that I've, of course, discovered over the years of traveling is that there's two types of travelers. There's the people that are about the destination and just want to get from point A to point B as quickly as possible. And they belong on the interstate highways. That's what they're for. They really don't have any use for travel guides. The other type of people are the ones that are about the journey. That's what I am and my wife are. And I imagine that all of you are on that same category. And you want to stop and see the sights, follow the back roads of America, and enjoy the small towns and cities along the way. These are the people that travel guides are for. Let me, so this is the cover of the first travel guide that I did, the Ukiah-Tahoe Highway. This was done in 2018, I believe. A couple things I want to show you on this one, and there is some significance in this highway and US 99 West, which is what we're ultimately going to talk about. The Ukiah-Tahoe Highway crosses US 99 West in Williams, and it crosses 99 East in Yuba City. So this is a view looking to the east of a section of the last section of the Ukiah-Tahoe Highway that was built, which in this area is California State Highway 20. This is just a few miles, or actually a mile or so west of Clear Lake Oaks, where I live. This picture was probably taken about 1932 when this section opened, the last section. These rock or stone retaining wall or seawalls, whichever you want to call them, still exist today. They've been run into a few times, so they're not quite as good looking as this. But the rest of this picture has changed very little.
Hold on just one moment. You need to share your screen. It's not showing
you're
up.
not seeing this? Okay, hold on a second. Oh, it says you've disabled it again.
Okay, well,
We had it once, I thought.
give me a minute here then.
Okay.
All right. How did I do that? How did I do it last time? There.
Let's see. I've got a. What do I
Now
got?
give it a go.
Huh?
Now try it.
Okay. Whoop.
Yes. So starting sharing screen.
Are you seeing that? What are you seeing?
I see a desktop.
Okay. All right. You're seeing a desktop. Okay. Perfect. Then let me get this now. Do you see that?
Yes.
You see a picture?
Yes.
Okay. We're in business here. So this is, as I was saying, this is a picture of the Ukiah-Tahoe Highway, which is California State Highway 20 at this point, just west of Clear Lake Oaks. This wall and so forth still remains. And this looks very much like this. The only difference is the road is now paved, and these hillsides along here have been cut back just a little bit more to get one lane of traffic each way without hitting each other. Oh, I gotta move something here. I got other things sitting on top of what I want to see. All right, now we're going. Okay. Excuse me. All right, so this is what we're here to talk about, is actually US 99 West. As I said, that crosses the Ukiah-Tahoe Highway at Williams. So the history of 99 West is that US 99, excuse me, US Highway 99 was built between 1920 and 1933, running approximately 1,467 miles between Calexico, California, near the US-Mexico border, and Blaine, Washington, near the US-Canadian border. Northern California, between Sacramento and Red Bluff, US 99 split into US 99 East, known as the East Side Highway, and US 99 West, known as the West Side Highway. US 99 East ran along the eastern side of the Sacramento Valley, connecting Sacramento, Marysville, Chico, and Red Bluff, and US 99 West running along the western side of the Sacramento Valley, connecting Sacramento, Davis, Woodland, Williams, and Red Bluff, where the two became US 99 again. Today, US 99 no longer exists. Some of it was turned over to the state and became State Highway 99. Other sections were turned over to counties and became nearly forgotten. So historic US 99 West runs approximately 160 miles in length, goes by many different names. In some locations, it's called County Road 99 or 99 West. In other places, it's called I-5 Business. And still other places it has normal names like West Street in Woodland or Capitol Avenue in Sacramento. The Northern California Railroad still runs alongside 99 West in some places, although there is not a lot of train traffic. This is a kind of a map that shows the whole route of it, and we'll follow the colors here. The green line here is historic 99 West. The red line is what is now State Highway 99, which follows some of the same routing as 99 East. At this point here, which we'll look at closer in a minute, is where 99 West and 99 East used to split off of 99. 99 East used to follow this line over here to Roseville and up to Lincoln, and then over to Yuba City, Marysville area, and then followed basically the same route that 99, State Route 99 follows today. 99 West went through Davis, Woodland, Williams, Willows, Corning, and then into Red Bluff. So we'll start in Sacramento and work our way north. So in Sacramento, at this intersection here, which is the intersection of Capitol Avenue and 29th Street, is where US 99, which came up this way, ended. 99 East went up this way. 99 West followed this green line and went around here, around the Capitol Park and around the Capitol building, and then down what's called Capitol Mall and across Tower Bridge and into Yolo County. Today, if you're following that route, today you would follow that route if you were headed what would be called southbound on 99. You would still follow around this way. If you're going northbound, you'd have to take a slight detour because of one-way streets and go around on the opposite side that way where the red line is. Now, over here to the right of that intersection is what was US 50 and the Lincoln Highway. The Lincoln Highway followed this route right through here, just like we're following here, all the way through the rest of Sacramento and into Yolo County. So the original route of the of 99 West through the town through the city of Sacramento basically follows the original route. The Lincoln Highway and 99 West shared routing from this connection here to just south of Woodland, where they split off into different directions. So now let's look at, let's flip this back over to get it facing the right way. I want to look at an old map of Sacramento. This is a map from 1963. Maybe we'll get just a tiny bit bigger. This is Sacramento at the time that the interstate highway system was being planned and rerouting. And what it shows is a very short-term detour for 99 West. So here's that same intersection that we've been talking about where Highway 50 and the Lincoln Highway comes up. And here's where 99 West used to go and around to Capitol Park and around here's Tower Bridge. It originally then went up this way and across West Capitol Avenue. Around 1963, until the interstate highway was opened, they made a detour. They went off down here at Broadway, turned 99 West over to 4th or 5th Street, came up here, then onto the original route and across Tower Bridge. But instead of going down West Capitol Avenue, they took this little curve right here onto what was at that time was still US 40. And you can see here, they also had it as 99 West. This actually is what will become Interstate 80 here. And then this dashed line here is Interstate, what was originally 80. That went right through here and out past the end of town. And this one up here, this dashed line up here that comes down this way, this was originally 880, and it came down here and they met right out here somewhere. Quite a while later, they changed this route to become Business 80, and this route became 80 and went around Sacramento and rejoined over to the east somewhere. This dashed line right here is what will become Interstate 5. Follows the river up here, comes right up here, and it'll head over towards Woodland. So that was a excuse me, a short-term routing of 99 West. Just because we talked about Tower Bridge a lot, we're going to show you a picture of Tower Bridge. This is taken from the Yolo County side looking towards Sacramento over here. And this is a drawbridge that lifts straight up in these tracks right here. So things to do in Sacramento. There was Old Town Sacramento. There's the California State Railroad Museum, Sutter's Fort. There's Capitol Park, and State Capitol Building, and of course Tower Bridge. And I think we are ready to go to Yolo County. I'm going to turn these so that we're always having north facing up. It's a little less confusing. This is an overview now of all of Yolo County. So here's Sacramento, which we just left. We crossed, as soon as we crossed the Sacramento River right in here, right next to Highway 5, actually. We're in Yolo County. So we have West Sacramento, we have Davis, we have this little area here, which I'm going to show because this is where a change has occurred. And then we come up here into Woodland. Interestingly enough, almost all of the changes or realignments of the route take place in Yolo County. So let's go to the next map. All right, so here is the Sacramento River. Here's Tower Bridge, which we keep starting at. The green line is the original routing, and it comes across here and goes up on Grant. I think at one time it probably went straight across there, but for now it doesn't. Goes across here and runs down West Capitol Avenue. And till we get down to here. Now, this stretch here is a number of highways. It's 99, historic 99 West, it's historic US 40, and it's also is the Lincoln Highway. When we get to here, this is the old Yolo Causeway right across here. We're going to look at a picture of it after a while here. But that road no longer exists. So you have to jog down here onto what I call realignment number 1. This is the current Yolo Highway, which is on Interstate 80. And you have to take that just for a little ways. Probably a mile or so, mile and a half. So here again, here now we're coming off the Yolo Causeway, and we can take it exit 78. Here's the old Yolo Causeway right across here, which is gone. And this puts you onto Road 32A, which is still 99 West, 40, and Lincoln Highway. This is an excellent piece of original roadway through here. And I think I remember Michael mentioning this in the presentation about the Lincoln Highway.
That's a section of nice twin slab concrete. Goes
Yes.
for quite a distance.
And then when you get to right about here, the road doesn't end, but what happens, it ends to traffic. This is UC Davis is right in this area in here. And some of this road turns into pedestrian and bicycle routing through here. So you can't drive on it. So you have to go off here and down back onto Interstate 80 for a short ways until you get down to here. And this is the second realignment where the existing road doesn't exist. And then you head down towards, let's see, what's the next town after Davis? Whatever's next door to Davis. Oh, well, it's all still Davis, apparently, I guess. This is where we just turned off at. So it's still called Davis. It's just, when I think of Davis, I think of the old town of Davis, which is over here. So anyway, so here, from here on, you are on the original route of US 99 West, except for when you get up here past Davis, there will be a small little detour again. So let's talk about some of the things that there is to do in Yolo County. There is the U.S. Bicycle Hall of Fame, which is right there. We go right past it. We'll look at some of that stuff later on. There's the Reefs Gas Station Museum in Woodland. There's the California Agricultural History Center in Woodland. There's the Yolo County Historical Museum in Woodland. The Sacramento River Train is in Woodland, and there's old downtown area of both Woodland and Davis that are interesting to look at. So here is that last piece that I was talking about. Now we're on the same road we were in that last map. We're coming across on Russell Boulevard, and right here on what this was 99 Road 99. It originally came right down through here and made just a sharp right-hand turn. This whole area in here was developed in the last 20 years or so with a combination of houses, apartments, and commercial complexes. When they did that, they rerouted the road into this little curved shape here. And so now you have to take that piece. This is also where you split off from US 40 and the Lincoln Highway, where they continued out this way to Road 98. Then they turn south for just a short ways, and then they turn west again. So this is where you leave the Lincoln Highway. Now let's see what we've got next here. All right, I want to show a couple of pictures here of Yolo County. This first one here is the original Yolo Causeway. Let's get this out of my way here. This is the original Yolo Causeway. I believe this is looking west, because if we were looking the other direction, we'd see Sacramento over in here, because even in the days when this was built, there were still a lot of buildings in Sacramento. So assuming that we are looking west, Interstate 80 is right about here. And if you're on Interstate 80 heading westbound, if you look to the north or to your right, you'll see a line of telephone poles. Those telephone poles are approximately where this road used to be. This is the Southern Pacific train station in Davis. This is the just a picture inside the U.S. Bicycle Hall of Fame in Davis. And we will head off to Colusa County. Okay, so we'll enter Colusa County just north of Dunnigan. Dunnigan is right here. If you travel I-5, you might be familiar with the rest stop right there, because it's the first one. And then you will travel through Arbuckle, Williams, and Maxwell. The green line here is our routing of US 99 West. This lighter colored line here, which runs pretty much parallel to it and crisscrosses a time or two, is Interstate 5. Well, let's look at, okay, this is the better picture here. This is the Arbuckle train station. Unfortunately, it's in quite a bit of disrepair, and hopefully it will be fixed up someday. It's been fenced off for quite some time. All right, this is the Sierra Buttes, which are a kind of a reference point in the valley. So if you're looking east from historic US 99 West between Arbuckle and Williams, you'll see the Sierra Buttes in Sierra County several miles away. The Sierra Buttes have always been a point of reference in the Sacramento Valley. Some people say that the Sutter Buttes are actually the smallest mountain range in the world, as they're only a few miles long and maybe a couple of miles wide, and kind of just pop up out of the middle of Central Valley. You can see them for probably a good 50 miles or more each direction on a clear day. It's not always clear in the valley. Oops, what did I do here? Okay, so here we are at Williams, still in Colusa County. So here, this green line again is Williams. It is interstate, is 99 West going through Williams. I-5 is right here, this light line going out just along there. Okay, this yellow line across here that comes along, goes right through town, it crosses 99 and then comes up this way is the Ukiah-Tahoe Highway, which is State Highway 20 at this location. When Interstate 5 was built, they connected this point, well, that point straight across to bypass town. So the town got bypassed by both highways at the same time. There are some things to do, which we're going to look at here. One is the old bus yard, old bus graveyard, which is just before you get into town. We'll look at that in a minute. The Williamstown Square is right here, and there's also a Williams Arch, which is right there. Okay, so this is part of the old bus graveyard, which is actually the storage yard for Pacific Bus Museum in Fremont. So if you're interested in 1930s to 1970s buses, this is just a few of them. This is 99 West right here. So it's right beside it, or just across railroad tracks. There's also a road on the other side of it. It's pretty much open. You can see it, but it is private property. So if you do like buses, just look at them from the road unless you see somebody there to talk to. This is the Williams, just a minute, let me get this better. This is the Williamstown Square. This is the Ukiah-Tahoe Highway going across this way. This is 99 West going right across that street there. The reason I'm showing a picture of this is it's kind of an interesting building. This is just a brick building with a few windows in it. I think this one and this one upstairs and these along here downstairs. I don't believe these windows are there. But what's interesting about it is this whole balcony is not here. These people aren't here. This horse and wagon aren't here. This guy's not here. This person's not here. That person's not there. All of that is painted onto it three-dimensionally. So it's kind of cool looking. Definitely worth looking at if you're driving by. It caught my eye. I had to stop and take a picture of it. And here is the Williams Arch. Now, it is not over US 99 West. It is over the Ukiah-Tahoe Highway about 1 block east of 99 West. And what I think is interesting about it is it appears to me is at one time this came straight down here and this came straight down here. And when they went to put this left turn lane in here, it was too narrow to get all the lanes plus the parking in. So they came up by putting some new columns in here with a little cantilever beam out each side to make it up. So. All right, let's move on to the next county, which is Glenn. In Glenn County, again, here's 99, basically straight right through the whole county. And 5 is just off to the side, bypassing all of the towns. So here's Williams, Arturos, and Orland. And right here is the Sacramento National Wildlife Museum, which is mostly a bird watching area, but it is some of the things to do there. There's a number of things actually to do in this town. There's the old downtown Williams, old downtown Orland. There's the Sacramento National Wildlife Refuge there in Willows, I'm sorry. There is the Ultra Schmidt Museum in Orland, or there's Arturos, where all the original buildings on one side of the highway are abandoned, basically. And we'll get a picture of one of those. And that's about it. Let's see what else we got here. Okay, so here is, we're going to look at 2 things on this one. So here is just one of the towns in Arturos. So here's 99 West right here, and everything on the about 1.5 blocks worth of buildings on the west side of the highway are all abandoned. On the east side of the highway, there's the railroad tracks and a couple of industrial things that are still in use. There are still people living in town. It's not a ghost town. It just has no downtown anymore. And this is the Orland Arch over US 99. Now, there is an arch at the north end of town today that looks very similar to this. I do not know if this is that same arch restored or if they tore it down and rebuilt a new one, but it is there. Whoops. There we go. Now we go into Tahama County, which is probably where we're going to spend quite a bit of our time. So again, you come in on 99, you go through Corning, you go through Roberta, and you come into Red Bluff. And here, this yellow line over here is the old 99 East, which is now State Highway 99, and it comes into Red Bluff, where they meet and ultimately end up on I-5. So they actually will join at Main Street, Oak Street, and Antelope Boulevard, and we're going to look at those in just a second. Try to zoom in here a little because this is that main intersection. Okay, that's close enough. So here we are. This is 99 West coming in. This is that intersection I just mentioned of Main Street, Oak Street, and Antelope Boulevard. And this is 99 East coming in, and then they turn into 99. They go up here just a tiny bit, and then they end up on Interstate 5, and 99 disappears. So as you come into town, there is the River Park right here, which has access to the river and so on. There is as you first enter town here, there's old Chinatown right here, and there's the old downtown right here. And let's see what we've got here. All right, this is once was downtown. I don't believe this building is here anymore. And I don't remember if this building is here anymore because there's been some buildings have been torn down. But what I want you to look at is this tower right here. When they tore this down, they saved the tower. And they put it in a park. And that street right across the front there is 99, is that State Highway 99 at that point. And there's a plaque over here that tells you about this, but this came off of that building, although the building is long gone. But at least they saved something. Okay, now we're going to go to a couple of points of interest, and they happen to be in Corning. So the highway, if you're coming from where we just were in Red Bluff, you come down here, cut across here, and then down this way on as is 99 West. This is the old downtown part of Corning, and right at the curve here where 3rd Street is, where Solano and 3rd, which is where Highway 99 turns. There's two things that should be points of interest and are quite historical for the town of Corning, although half of them don't exist anymore. So the first one is going to be right here, and that's going to be the site of the old Woodson Land Office. The second one is straight across the street from it, which is the site of the old Hotel Maywood. So, so the site of the Woodland Land Office, the Maywood Colony. So in 1888, Warren Woodson met Charles Foster, and they purchased 3,107 acres of land just to the east of the town of Corning. So that would be just over in here. They named this development the Maywood Colony, and they sold 10-acre lots, mostly to people living in the east. As these lots sold, they bought more land, eventually nearly surrounding the town of Corning. So they basically almost ended up with all of this land around here. This was one of the largest real estate speculations of its time, totaling more than 40,000 acres. And that's large considering that the town itself of Corning was only a 161-acre railroad town. So the Woodson Land Office was built across the street from the Maywood Hotel, which at that time already existed, had a 75-foot tower. That's this tower right here. So that prospective buyers could view the town and the surrounding areas and pick out lots they wanted. In the 1960s, this whole building was torn down to make way for a car lot. Today, there's just a concrete lot there, nothing more. So if back during the time this existed, if you wanted to buy some of this land from the Maywood Colony, you'd come in here, talk to them, tell me what you wanted if you were actually physically there and not back east somewhere. They'd take you up to the tower here. You'd look around at this railing and you'd say, oh, I want to be, I like that area to the south of town or to the west of town or wherever you like. And they would find a good spot for you and sell it to you. If you were buying back in the east, where you were buying it through basically newspaper articles and that kind of stuff, they'd have photographs from up here of all the different areas. You could choose what you wanted and say, set me up for one of those. That's what I want. Unfortunately, that's gone, but it is an interesting part of the town's history. The second part here excuse me, is the Hotel Maywood, which is directly across the street from the one we were just looking at. So Charles Foster, the former sheriff of Tahama County, and Warren Woodson, who are the same two people that had the Maywood colony, built the Hotel Maywood in 1899. It was one of the finest hotels in Northern California. The upper floors were destroyed by fire in 1917. Today, the lower floors house the Corning City Hall, the police station, and a museum. So this area right here today is the police station. This is the city hall, and this, I believe, was the museum over. Everything above about this line where I'm going across here is gone. It was all destroyed in the fire. Unfortunately, they lost a lot of their history. Next thing we want to talk about is kind of a tragedy. And this happened in Roberta. So here's 99 West running along here. Up to the north end up here would be Red Bluff. So just over 100 years ago, on November 30th, 1921 at 10:25 in the morning, was the worst school bus train accident in US history up to that time. And it occurred in Roberta, just about 100 feet or so off of historic US 99. So as I said, here's 99 coming in here. The railroad tracks followed 99 right around this curve. This is San Benito Avenue. This over here is was the old 99 East, or State Highway 99 today. So school bus number 17, that was already late due to mechanical problems, had completed picking up 14 students of Red Bluff High School from the communities of Derryville, which is over here on 99 East, and Garber, which is right here. The driver was also a 16-year-old student. A few miles from Red Bluff High School, where San Benito Road crosses the railroad tracks at Roberta, this is San Benito Road right here, so right at that intersection, a southbound Southern Pacific train number 15 traveling at 45 to 50 miles per hour collided with a school bus that had not stopped for the train. The bus driver, who survived until the next day, said that he did not see the train coming because of the fog. In all, 14 students died either at the scene or within the next few days at the hospital. Only one girl survived. There are no signs or any memorial markings at that location today, and most of the people that live and work in the area probably have no idea of this horrible accident even ever happening. In 1921, the road was dirt. Railroad crossings did not have flashing red lights and crossing arms like they do today. Following this tragedy, the laws in California were changed so that students could no longer drive school buses. This is not the bus that was in the accident, but based on the descriptions of the bus, this is approximately what that bus would have looked like. Not much there when you get hit by a train. So I actually debated putting that into the travel guide, but one of the main reasons I did was because of the fact that there's no markers or no memorial or anything for it there today. And at that time, it was only it was almost 100 years after it had happened when I wrote this. And it just seemed like there should have been some kind of a marking there or something. So this is one of your signs. I believe this one is in Williams. And when I was doing this, doing the traveling for this, I believe I only saw 3 sets of signs on the road. I don't know, is this your signs or is this somebody else's?
That sign was actually placed by a guy named Patrick Frank back in the mid-90s.
Okay.
We are working on eventually replacing, upgrading some of the signs, either they've been faded or otherwise. But, yeah.
So I think there was some in Williams. I believe there was some up near Reading, maybe.
Yes.
Bluff, I mean, and somewhere else, I think I saw a pair of them. I don't remember where they were. They might have been down towards West Sacramento or somewhere in that area.
There's definitely one near the arch at Orland.
Oh, okay. Maybe that's where I saw the other one then. Yeah. It wasn't in Red Bluff.
But no, Red Bluff has some too.
Oh, okay. Well, there might be more than I remember then. So anyway, just kind of in closing, I just wanted to mention a couple other things and then we can take some questions. So this is the cover of the travel guide that I wrote about a year or so ago for the Redwood Highway. It covers US 101 from Golden Gate Bridge to the Oregon state line. And then there is another one that I wrote, which covers the history of the US highway system. This isn't a travel guide. This is more of a book. And excuse me, it covers basically the evolution of the highway from the horse and wagon trails to the early toll roads to the bicycle movement, which probably most people don't even realize had quite an impact on roads in the 1890s. And as the bicycle clubs in the East formed the League of American Wheelmen, and they had quite a bit of political power. It also covers named highways, the plank roads in the deserts, the U.S. highway numbering system, modern toll roads, the start of the freeway system, the interstate highway system, and how the interstate highway system changed America, both for good and bad. And then there's one other one that I'm working on, which will probably be out around the middle of the year. It's the top 10 historic U.S. highways, which my choice of top 10. They cover the Lincoln Highway from New York to San Francisco, Route 66 from Chicago to LA, California Highway 1, which runs along the Pacific coast, US 101, the Redwood Highway, which is the only one of this group that I have actually written a travel guide for, the Columbia River Highway on the Oregon side of the Columbia River, Blue Ridge Parkway, which is from Shenandoah National Park in Virginia to Great Smoky National Park in North Carolina, the Yellowstone Trail, which runs from Plymouth, Massachusetts to Seattle, Washington, which I have to say is probably the most difficult historic highway to follow that there is, because it never got the following of like the Lincoln Highway and Route 66. It has 0 signs. Some of the routing is lost to history. It's tough to follow. The Great River Road, which is both sides of the Mississippi River, and the 2 others that are probably going to be in it are the Jefferson Highway, which runs from New Orleans to Winnipeg, and then US Highway 20, which goes from Boston to Newport, Oregon at 3,365 miles. It is the longest highway in the US. So probably going to do that one. So any questions?
Well, Michael, this is Jim O'Callahan. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I can't share my screen. I have satellite internet, and if I have the camera, I'm not share the screen, but I can't have the camera. You can barely hear me. Anyway, thank you for the presentation. I was born and raised in Marin County. Quite familiar with Highway 101.
Yeah.
I live now in Tahama County. We're talking earlier. I work at Shasta Dam, so only too familiar with that lake. I have to see it every day. It's depressing. But WW Historic U.S. Highway, are your travel guides there? Where's the best place to order them?
You can order them. Go onto our website, which is www.historicushighways.com, and you can find pretty much what's in all of them there.
Okay, great. So yeah, it's real interesting. I'm pretty active with. Are you familiar with Trails West?
Okay.
We're a historical organization. We have 700 markers throughout 4 Western states that have the immigrant routes from the 1840s, 1860s. And it's just interesting, so you can tell I'm kind of hooked on old transportation. And this organization seems like it just picks up from after the immigrants, there's various routes of travel, but as you know, so many of these travel corridors remain the same based on from game trails to Native American trails to the trappers, and then so on and so forth, the stagecoach and then railroad. So it's all very interesting. Thank you very much.
Yeah, Michael, Mark Freeman here. I wanted to go back a little bit there because we were talking about the Orland Arch, and I know last month we had a little bit of discussion. While you were having internet problems, we were having a little bit of discussion. got discussion about some arches along 99. You mentioned about you weren't sure if the Orland Arch was a replica. Actually, that one is original. That one was my understanding is it was by original it was built in 1926 anyway, but they did some refurb on it here about 10 years ago, thereabouts.
Okay.
Essentially replaced the lighting and everything on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
okay, that is the original one, just restored then, because it looks real nice now. The one that's
yeah. Yeah. So yeah, I don't know if they moved it or anything, because it seems to me that one's kind of way out of town, especially back in the 1920s. But
yes,
but the structure itself is original.
Okay, good. Thank you for that information.
Michael Ballard, Jim O'Callahan again. I'm just curious, with Trails West, we have a number of outings each year. Trail, a lot of backcountry four-wheel drive stuff, but any field trips where a group of people get together and take a stretch of highway and travel together for a day or two?
Well, yeah, no, there are quite a few stretches. Just a matter of putting something together. I'm in Southern California, so it's definitely easier for me. Like, for example, Ridge Route, or well, pretty much any section through the Imperial Valley, all the way up through at least Bakersfield. Could definitely put something together.
Yeah, I guess most of the Ridge Route is all walking now. I guess most of it's closed to vehicular traffic. So it'd be a 1 or 2 day hikes or something going up different portions. Is that correct?
Well, yes and no. I also happen to be the president of the Ridge Route Preservation Organization and have keys to the gates. So I'm actually going over the Ridge Route this Saturday or Sunday. So it's an option.
I've seen on the internet. Yeah, oh, but that's awesome. I've seen it on the internet some years ago. I'm sure you're familiar with it. I spoke with I know you know. I don't have his name here with me. He's an older gentleman who was probably the head of the thing before you. Maybe you took over from him. But it used to be, wide open, but they would have, I'm sorry?
Harrison Scott. That's the guy.
Correct. That's the name. I spoke with him a couple times on the phone, but I talked to him about they had these Model T or these older car trips that would go on the Ridge Route, which seemed real fun. So yeah, if something, this year or maybe 2023, if I guess, I don't know if we have each other's emails and this and that, we have this forum, but if you ever put anything together, I would love to attend, especially if we get out there on either vehicles or electric bicycles or whatever the case, but I'd love to travel some sections of that and be able to have you point down to where, the old road that's under the lake and all that stuff. So I just love field trips. And if you ever, things get put together, I'd just like to be on the list, I guess.
Oh, definitely. With that can definitely be arranged. Not sure if you signed up or not. Well, for one, ridgeroute.org is the website for the Ridge Route Preservation Organization. They do have events where they actually go up onto the road. It's right now it's work parties. The next one is sometime in March, April, to see how this winter goes. And those are just literally work parties, but the bonus is that wherever the work is being done, the rest of the road is able to be traversed. And keep the gates open for, people coming through.
That's great. That's very much like Trails West. We have the work parties where we go out, and so it's a great So I've got 18 months to go, then I'm fully retired at 66 and a half. And I hope to get much more active in these things. I'm still working full time, but I will certainly go to the ridgeroute.org and look forward to getting involved with not only the historic 99, but Ridge Route, all these transportation corridors. I recently finished a book on the Siskiyou Highway that started out with the British trappers up in Vancouver coming down through the Shasta Canyon, Sacramento River Canyon, and so on. But again, all these routes are just really fantastic.
There's definitely a lot there. Like with example, the Ridge Route, that's actually something I've been involved with. Well, I mean, the Historic 99 Association's only been around since November of 2020. The Ridge Route Preservation Organization's been around since 2001. And I've been involved with it for even longer. But it was, of course, a section of US 99. But yeah, there's a lot to explore. Looking forward to getting out there, seeing more, and like doing in-person trips. With
Right.
tour books such as the one for US 99W that we've been shown. There's a lot of good information out there to help guide those trips. Yeah, but go onto those websites, historic99.org, of course, for US 99 overall. If you're not a member, go ahead, sign up. If you're with Ridge Route, same thing. There's a lot of good information out there, and for additional information on the tour and the tour books, as well as the historic Ukiah-Tahoe Highway Association. Give us that website again.
For the Ukiah-Tahoe Highway Association?
Yes.
That website, I've got two different websites. Okay. All right, so that is www.historic Ukiah-Tahoe Highway Association, I think.
Okay. Well, thank you for your presentation. It's been wonderful. I'm glad we finally got to complete it.
Yeah, I am too.
And
by the way, Mr. Herman, you made a comment about Yellowstone Trail and that you're looking at maybe documenting that and the difficulty in documenting that one. One thing that you might want to look at is there's a lot of that Yellowstone Trail that was superseded in name anyway by Sunset Highway.
Okay.
And so since Pacific Highway 99 was the major north-south through the state of Washington, I live in Sequim, Washington. I'm as far in at the north end of Highway 101 as you can get. The Sunset Highway was the major east-west, and of course it changed routing several times, as did the Yellowstone Trail. But pretty much from Seattle to over the mountains and dropping into the east side of Washington, you will find that the Sunset Highway pretty much coincided with the Yellowstone Trail.
Okay, that's good information, because I have some maps and so forth of it, but basically, or not basically, but kind of the best way you can connect some of the places is by connecting the towns and figuring out what roads were actually there, because
yes,
it's just really.
So
and
here's,
you also get areas where town names have changed because they've gotten absorbed by a larger town that wasn't even there then. And
right.
I've been on a substantial amount of it, but it's difficult to follow.
Yeah. So a good source of information there. It's sunset-hwy. So sunset-highway.com, and they've got quite a bit of stuff in there.
Okay, I'm gonna write those down here. Thank you.
You're welcome. Sorry to usurp a little of the California 99's time, but I figured, well, since you brought it up, I'll maybe give you a little extra information.
Oh, I appreciate it.
Okay, well, I guess that unless anybody has any additional questions regarding either the.
I guess you'll put
presentation
something, Michael Ballard, you'll put something on the, I think I get these notifications. I guess I get the emails now. I found you originally on Facebook, but look forward to the next Zoom meeting in March then, huh?
Yes, and also just one clarification. So the Facebook thing, that's not us. That's just a group.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that
All right.
our internet presence is the historic99.org, as well as we have, some other social
Okay.
media stuff, but that's a separate thing.
Oh, okay, interesting. There's a lot of historical highway stuff out there.
There is. In fact, with the 99, we're actually a nonprofit organization. Got a 501c3, tax deductible, for donations. But yeah,
Okay, I
thank
can
you.
look at that.
I will thank you, everybody, for joining us, and look forward to the next meeting. I'll put out the information. So our next meeting, just as I'll make a more formal announcement, but I'll be presenting at the next meeting, and I'll be sharing photos from my November 2021 trip to Lake Shasta, where a fair bit of US 99 was exposed. Something that's sections that haven't been exposed or rarely are exposed in years. So it should be a lot of fun. May include a few extra photos of some of the stuff I did, like Sacramento River Canyon, maybe Shasta River Canyon, see how timing goes. So again, thank you everybody for joining.
Thank you.
And
Having me here.
and thank you for giving that presentation. It was wonderful.
Yes, thank you, Michael and Michael. Very much appreciated that.
Yes, thank you both.
Hey, Michael Ballard.
Yes.
Michael Ballard, one last comment. Gosh, I wish I could have crossed paths with you sooner. I'm the chief with, I can get you some access down at the, if you wanted to incorporate any of the base of the dam. And then I was out on my boat out on Shasta Lake. I have some photos I could send you of the railroad tunnels. And one of the gentlemen mentioned, I saw that same YouTube video where that knucklehead idled his boat through the tunnel. But anyway, if you ever, anything Shasta related, don't hesitate, because I work there and I've got all the keys.
Well, that would be greatly appreciated. It's when I was there, you could walk through the tunnel, but there was also a lot of debris that had blockaded the north portal. So there's I don't remember what tunnel number it was, but it's the one with the bridge adjacent.
Right.
The other tunnel was well exposed.
So, yeah. Well, great. We'll look forward to the March. That'll be right in my backyard.
Well, thank you. And so I'm going to go ahead and shut off. That's again. Thank you for everybody for joining, and look forward to seeing you in March.